What's up everyone, me JP2 here, and in today's video we have some battles submitted to the channel by King Period, featuring Earthquake, Snorlax, and Attack Deoxys in the Open Ultra League. Now, we've seen Attack Deoxys before, it's very glassy, and I also said I was not going to be running it for a while, because it just hurts my elo too much. But I'm not going to stop it from being featured if someone submits it to me, so that's what I'm doing here. Also, Earthquake Snorlax is something I've wanted to try, but I've never had enough charge TMs to use on a Snorlax, because the thing learns quite a few moves, and I'm always worried that I'll just end up burning all my charge TMs without actually getting Earthquake, so I've never run it. So I am very excited to see it here. Anyways, that's pretty much it, and let's get to the battles. In the first battle, we lead Snorlax and a Jolteon, and I will mention that King Period's battles, they are at rank 20, and while my battles are usually at Ace, that does mean that the opponents might be bringing some different Pokemon, but King Period is probably still more skilled than I am, so I still expect the same quality of gameplay on our end. And so we switch out into Venusaur, and the opponent sends in Charizard. Now this isn't awful because the opponent's running Air Slash, and Air Slash is not the best move, because Air Slash actually takes 6 to get to a Blast Burn, or an Overheat I guess, and they do debuff themselves with the Overheat, so Attack Deoxys might even be able to farm down, but you can see the thing's so dang glassy, it can't. The opponent sends in the Jolteon, we bank a Psycho Boost, and that'll probably prove useful later. We send in Snorlax. We lose CMP, but we can send a Body Slam into the Jolteon, and now we're going to be able to shield, and we should be able to get a full farm down. The opponent goes for another Thunderbolt, and Snorlax is able to get the farm down. Now the opponent sends in Swampert, and we could go for an Earthquake here, but we just need one Body Slam, and at this point, we don't even need to attack. Attack Deoxys will do enough attacking for us, because this Psycho Boost will pretty much just guaranteed KO the Swampert, even though they're in the green, and we're able to take that game. They lead Snorlax into Ampharos in the next battle, and we're gonna just probably go and farm up to an Earthquake. I'd really love to see an Earthquake land here, but it'd probably be a good idea to go for a bait first. Now we're gonna not even farm up to the Earthquake, but the opponent might still shield, and they do, because I guess they didn't trust their counts, and now we send in Venusaur. Now Venusaur will be able to take any one move. The opponent goes for a Thunder Punch, that was a boosted Thunder Punch, then go for another Thunder Punch, and it's still not going to do too much damage. It does get us into the yellow, but we can make it to back-to-back Frenzy Plants, and now we just get Switch, basically. The opponent can shield, and we're actually going to overfarm, which is not what I would have done personally. I would have just thrown the Frenzy straight away, but it looks like King Period probably knows what he's doing and wants to get to back-to-back Frenzy Plants, or at least as close as possible. The opponent then sends in Gardevoir, and I'm pretty sure if we had gone with what I had done, the Gardevoir would have been able to charm us down, but King Period apparently knows what he was doing and was able to get enough farm to make it to a Sludge Bomb. In the back they have Feraligatr. We're able to go for a Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost will take out the Feraligatr, and we're able to take that game. We lead Snorlax into Mewtwo in the next battle. Pretty good lead, because we're going to be able to hit for super effective with Licks, so the opponent sends in Kyogre. Now that's pretty spicy, and the opponent is probably going to end up no-shielding this, as they can live a Body Slam, and we actually get a catch onto the Venusaur, and at this point Venusaur might even be able to just fully farm down, because Surf will not KO us, and they're not even able to make it to a Surf. They then send in Giratina, and it looks like Snorlax should be able to clean this up. Like, Attack Deoxys can help against the Mewtwo, but it's kind of dead weight against Giratina. The opponent then sends out the Mewtwo, and we're going to be able to go for Frenzy Plant, just force that last shield. Force the first shield. I lost count there. But we're able to send an Attack Deoxys. Attack Deoxys will have to shield the Slice Strike, because despite being resisted, that will fully one-shot Deoxys. Switch into Snorlax, get the Snipe with a Lick, and the opponent sends out the Giratina, but it's too little too late. Their Dragon Claw will not be doing too much, and while they are running Dragon Breath, they will be able to do more damage with the fast move, but they will charge a bit slower. We grab the shield with the Earthquake, and at this point, we can just let Snorlax go. They go for a Dragon Claw. It actually doesn't take out Snorlax, but Attack Deoxys has the Psycho Boost, and Psycho Boost will be able to take out the Giratina, and we are able to take that game. We see Buzzwole on the lead in the next battle. Not the best lead, so we actually send out Attack Deoxys. Now, the counters are still outpacing despite being resisted. As you can see, Attack Deoxys is obviously not very bulky. The opponent's going for a move. or just decided to take the switch advantage, the opponent goes for a power-up punch, and we actually do tank that, so looks like we did find the one move that attack deoxys does tank. But the sheer amount of damage that single power-up punch did does just put into perspective just how darn glassy this thing is. The opponent then sends out Terrakion, which is very spicy, and we'll be able to make it to a Frenzy Plant. Now, Venusaur will be losing CMP to Terrakion, so it is fine to just no-shield this, because this will be a Sacred Sword, so we can just let that go, and we'll be able to farm up and throw before they're able to make it to another Sacred Sword to avoid losing CMP. Frenzy Plant will take him out. The opponent has Machamp in the back, and we're so close to the back-to-back Frenzy Plants. Can we get it? The opponent is going to take heavy damage, and we switch out so that we can hopefully make it to a Frenzy Plant later. But we're going to shield the Cross Chop, as that would do some nice damage. And now the opponent sends back in the Buzzwole, and we tank a Power-Up Punch here or a Lunge. The opponent goes for the Power-Up Punch, Snorlax tanks it, and we're rolling for the Earthquake because we have it, might as well show it. Earthquake nearly takes out the Buzzwole, and we're able to take that game. Snorlax is led against the Leafeon in the next battle, and we're going to switch out into Venusaur to hopefully draw out a response, and the opponent sends in Charizard. Now this Charizard's on Dragon Breath, so they're only going to be able to hit for neutral, and they actually are going to shield the Sludge Bomb. Now, we can just let this go. They actually bait with a Dragon Claw, and that is gonna prove to be pretty harmful to them because we make it to another Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb won't take him out, but it'll do some nice damage, and we're able to make it to a Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant or Sludge Bomb works here. Either one will take him out pretty much, so they're gonna shield basically anything. Now we can send in Snorlax, and Snorlax will be able to tank any move. The opponent goes for another Dragon Claw, and at this point, if they have a Blast Burn, it would probably be good to shield it, and they actually go for an Overheat, I think that was. Now the opponent sends back out the Leafeon. We lose CMP. It's not ideal, but we will be able to go for a Body Slam, and we should outpace him to another one, considering Razor Leaf charges extremely slowly. And this Body Slam will either take him out or come very close to doing so. Body Slam nearly takes him out. We send out Attack Deoxys. We take huge damage from that one Razor Leaf, but we're going to be able to CMP tie the Swampert. And Psycho Boost does a little damage. Not too much, though. And we're going to be able to get taken out by Hydro Cannon, but Snorlax will farm down the Swampert, and the Charizard should be able to get farmed down, and we're able to take that game. We see Snorlax into Giratina in the next battle. As long as they're not running Dragon Breath, this is a good lead. The opponent realizes that they're not in a good matchup, so they switch out into Primarina, and we just have a wall to Primarina in Venusaur. Venusaur can go for a Frenzy Plant. The opponent probably shouldn't shield unless they want to try and get a shield back by like baiting having a Psychic. But the opponent is content to just let the Primarina go down, and they're going to be going for a farm down with Giratina, I assume. But if they try and farm us down, even after landing a Dragon Claw, we still should be able to make it to a Frenzy Plant. They go for the Ancient Power, though. No boost, thankfully. And now this Frenzy Plant will get him into the yellow. The opponent does no-shield it. And we're actually going to switch out into Snorlax to hopefully bait out another response. The opponent is actually staying in here. They're trying to get off as much Ancient Power damage as possible. The Ancient Powers will get us into the yellow. They actually get a boost, but that actually gives Snorlax more farm, so that because the Shadow Claws are doing basically nothing anyways, so that does give Snorlax slightly more farm. The opponent sends out a Waterfall Wall Rain, and we're actually able to connect with an Earthquake. It doesn't do too much, and Wall Rain does get a farm down, and Venusaur is pretty low. Now the opponent lags a bit, and now it's just a fast move beatdown. It's a simultaneous KO, and Venusaur's alive in the back, so we take the game. Pretty bad lead in the next battle, leading Snorlax and Obstagoon, and this team is ABA weak to Obstagoon because Attack Deoxys is also weak to it. Frankly, Attack Deoxys is weak to everything, but it's especially weak to Obstagoon, so we send out Venusaur. Now the opponent does switch out into Sylveon, and the Sylveon will be met with Sludge Bombs. We actually grab a shield, and we might even be able to farm him down. We decide to just go for another Frenzy Plant, throwing some energy so we don't have to shield the Side Shock, and we're able to get the switch advantage. The opponent sends out their own Venusaur, and we're going to actually catch the move onto Snorlax, because we're going to hope to try and bait out the other Pokemon again, and it does work. We bait out the Obstagoon. Now we're trying to bluff having a Superpower, because if we have Superpower, it'll do huge damage. Superpower does not one-shot Obstagoon, I don't think, but the Licks, despite doing 1 damage, will add up eventually, so we could potentially farm them down if we landed a superpower. Because of that, we're able to get a shield, and Venusaur is able to come in with the Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant will do some pretty big damage, and it's a CMP type. This means the Obstagoon throws energy, and Attack Deoxys will be able to hide behind this shield and still have one more shield to hide behind. Now the Venusaur can't farm down, so we're going to actually be able to win CMP, go for the Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost will take out probably like 3 or 4 Venusaurs, and we're able to take that game. We see Sylveon and Lundeed in the next battle, and we're going to actually send out Venusaur, and the opponent responds with Lucario. Now, despite being walled here, Lucario is pretty glassy, so we actually are going to be able to pull shields with Frenzy Plant, because Frenzy Plant is just an absurdly good move. They go for a Blaze Kick though. Blaze Kick won't one-shot, but it will get us into farm down range. Now, the Frenzy Plant, despite being resisted, does like half their health, and now at this point we can send in Snorlax. Snorlax will be shielding, because Lucario can learn close combat. The opponent does just go for a Blaze Kick though, and we're able to get a farm down. The opponent sends back out the Sylveon, and then they switch out into a Greninja. Now Greninja will make it to a move here. This should be only a Night Slash. It is a Night Slash, and we're going to be able to go for a bunch of Body Slams. Body Slam number 1 gets the shield, and we're going to be able to throw another Body Slam right before they get to another move. So we're going to be able to go for a Body Slam. The opponent is going to go for a move, and they're gonna take us out with this most likely. Night Slash actually doesn't. We're actually able to switch out into Attack Deoxys, and while they do have a move here, we do have a shield to hide behind. So Night Slash will get shielded. We'll get a farm down. We'll leave with a Psycho Boost. Now Sylveon is relatively bulky, but Psycho Boost still does pretty big damage, and we're able to take him out and take that game. Into the next battle, and we lead Snorlax into Melmetal. Not specifically the best lead, but we do have Earthquake, and the opponent does have to debuff themselves to get any real damage off. The opponent is content to go for a Rock Slide, and we should be able to actually go for a bait here. Now the opponent, if they know their counts, shouldn't shield, and it looks like they do. We switch out into Venusaur. Hopefully we caught a superpower, but it's just a Rock Slide. Now the opponent is going to be in a type advantageous matchup here, but they're low enough that Frenzy Plant should come pretty close to taking him out, so we're actually able to grab a shield with the Frenzy Plant. Rock Slide will go unshielded. The opponent will just barely outpace us. Now we're going to be able to go for a shield though. We should be able to farm up to pretty close to back-to-back, and this second Frenzy Plant should be taking him out. Now the opponent then sends in Blaziken, and we're actually going to go for a Frenzy Plant here. And the Frenzy Plant still grabs a shield, and we're able to switch into Attack Deoxys. Now Attack Deoxys will be winning CMP with a Psycho Boost. That wasn't CMP though, so I think that's why the opponent might have overfarmed a bit, but they have Swampert in the back. And Venusaur is way too low to be sent in, so we're just going to have to bring in Snorlax. The opponent goes for Hydro Cannon, and now I think Earthquake will take us out if the Swampert has it, so we're just going to hope that they don't. And maybe if they're running Sludge Wave is non-stab, so stab means same type attack bonus for you guys that might not know that, but Sludge Wave is not same type attack bonus, so it actually does less damage than Earthquake, and because of that we're able to survive it, and we're able to take that game. We see Vikavolt on the lead in the next battle, and Vikavolt is just going to be threatened by Body Slam actually, because it's pretty glassy. They go for a Crunch, and they do get the debuff, which is unfortunate, but we'll be able to go for a Body Slam right before they make it to another Crunch. And we will lose CMP on the next one, but this one actually will probably get shielded. And the opponent looks like they overfarmed by 1, but we're going to be able to make it another Body Slam. The Body Slam does not take him out, and we're just going to take our shield advantage here, as Attack Deoxys can probably farm him down with 1, but the opponent, we actually send in Venusaur instead. The opponent sends in Sylveon, and they're running Quick Attack, so this is actually one of the Sylveons that's running Quick Attack and Psy Shock, probably to trap the poison types, but we're going to be able to just shield up the Psy Shock. And we're probably going to be able to either get a farm down or snipe with Attack Deoxys. We get a full farm down, and in the back, I didn't even see what that Pokemon was. It was a Hisuian Samurott, actually. We sent an Attack Deoxys, and Attack Deoxys is getting shredded by the Fury Cutters. We do make it to 1 Psycho Boost, and that does some nice damage, but it does give them some farm, which does make me nervous, because if they have back-to-back Icy Winds, there's a chance they win this now. It does not appear that they did, as we get a farm down, and we're able to take that game. Lead Snorlax into Sceptile in the next battle. And Subtile with the Bullet Seed will be able to outpace us, so we just send in Attack Deoxys. Those poison jabs do huge damage. The opponent then sends in Greninja. That Psycho Boost, for being double resisted, does a respectable amount of damage. The opponent actually does have to throw a move to take us out. We can send in Venusaur, and Venusaur should be able to get a full farm down, because even if they make it to back-to-back Night Slashes, Night Slash will not take us out, even if they have 2 of them. We get a full farm down, though, which is even better, and the opponent sends in a Fire Spin user, didn't see exactly what it was, and it was a Delphox. We're going to send in Snorlax, because Snorlax does have a better matchup into Delphox. The opponent's going to go for a move, and we're going to be shielding. Now, the opponent went for a Psychic, so they didn't even go for a Mystical Fire, and we're going to be able to go for a Body Slam. Body Slam does grab a shield, the opponent sends back in the Subtile, but we can probably throw 1 Body Slam. The Leaf Blade from the Subtile doesn't do too much, and we do overfarm too much. When we play to a CMP tie, we don't win, which is quite unfortunate. But we should have enough energy to be able to take out the Delphox. Kingperior fully undercharges it. We're able to get a farm down, and we're going to be able to go for a Body Slam. Now, Body Slam will basically take him out, and just a lick farm down is all we need, and we take the game. In the next battle, we lead Snorlax into Sylveon, and Sylveon is just it's a Charmer, so we're going to send out Venusaur. The opponent sends in Luxray, and it's running Hidden Power. So we really don't know what it's running, basically. We don't know the typing. So we're going to go for a Frenzy Plant, get a shield. We should be able to make it to another Frenzy Plant. The opponent goes for a Psychic Fangs, and we're going to be able to make it to 2 Frenzy Plants. Now, this will give us Switch or both shields, so the opponent does let it go, and then they send in Gyarados. Now, we're going to send in Snorlax simply because the Deoxys will get torn apart by Dragon Breath, and we're going to just no-shield. Crunch does do some nice damage, and the opponent sends out Sylveon. Now, the Sylveon, we can't switch out into Attack Deoxys because Charm basically 3-shots it, and we're going to be able to go for multiple Body Slams and hopefully grab a shield. Now, the second Body Slam gets the shield, and they are low enough that we are able to get a farm down, and we do make it to the Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost will be taking out the Gyarados, and we are able to take that game. Hopping into the next battle, and we lead Snorlax into Greninja. Now, Lick is resisted, which is making it not the best matchup, so we do send in Venusaur. The opponent sends in Charizard, and that's not the thing we were hoping to see, but Sludge Bomb at least can do some nice damage. We're going to no-shield because Venusaur doesn't really have much left to do, and it is the Blast Burn, which does take us out. Now, we're not going to be able to farm them down, so we are going to have to go for a Body Slam, and Body Slam will actually grab a shield. Now, we're happy to shield in return because of that. The opponent does bait with a Dragon Claw, but we actually do just get a full farm down, so that bait was not very helpful. The opponent sends in the Greninja, and Greninja will be going for a Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon won't take us out, but a second one will, so we can hopefully make it to 2 Body Slams before that, and we are going to be losing CMP here. Now, leaving Attack Deoxys without shield isn't good, but they go for a Night Slash, and we actually survive it, so all of a sudden there actually is play, because we actually grab the shield, and Attack Deoxys just gets a full farm down, so we have a shield to hide behind still. The opponent then sends in Sceptile, and Psycho Boost nearly one-shots them, and we're able to farm them down and take that game. So overall, that was some very fun battles, so thank you to Kingperior for the submission. Seeing Attack Deoxys in the Ultra League is always refreshing, especially when I'm not the one who has to sacrifice my elo for it. So, Kingperior, thank you for the submission, and also the Earthquake Snorlax was very fun. We didn't land too many, but I think that the 1 or 2 that we did land were very nice to watch. Now, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.